stream, because I typically don't do these kind of shows here while I'm in the car and doing a YouTube live. I typically do something from the office, and I do it from a good Wi-Fi stream, which I have at home. This is going, I'm using my phone, and I'm using the 5G so-called on my iPhone, Verizon, and I don't know if this is going to bloop, 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 bloop or not. So I just wanted to see and check to see if you all can see me. Um, you know what I don't like? I hate it when people do their lives and they sit here and wait forever for people to come on so they can, comment. And, I'm gonna wait 3 more minutes. I'm gonna wait 6 more minutes. I'm gonna wait 9 more minutes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna wait 19,000 more hours. Okay. Danny Darkins, are you okay? Can you see me? I mean, can you hear me good? All right. I wanted to. I know it's early in the day for some of you. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. It is 6:20, almost 6:20 in the p.m. Okay, Pamela, can you hear me? Okay, great. You can hear and see me well. All right, great. So at the time of this recording, you all, it is the day after the election. It is about 6:25 in the p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and typically I will go live maybe at nighttime, but I figure I'd get this out of the way as I get back to going into seeing what Koji got to do and see how we can fight. I'm here to fight it out because we're fighting the presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ, Bishop Sheard. He says I'm with her, and then we have a bishop who decided that he would not so much challenge him in public like we are seeing from Bishop Paul Morton and McClendon and Roland Sanders, who ain't a preacher, but who else is in that fight? Okay, everybody's fighting, and they all are running over there to Larry Reed show, fighting over who's going to vote. Then there was Donnie Swaggart, who was fighting the Church of God in Christ, and on and on. And then we got Bishop Wooten, who was being a little. Uh, he's kind of evasive, but yet you know where he is, and the autonomy word that he used, he is correct. I appreciate it and respect him for doing that and saying that and going it that way as to not show division within the house. Yes, he's running for the presiding bishop of the. I'm sorry, he's running for the general board of the church. And listen, it is what it is. But I want to, based off of my title here, and I don't know. I guess I gotta look this way because I don't do this. I think that's the camera right there. Based off of my title here, let's see if we could figure out what happened. What did Kamala do wrong? Number one, there wasn't enough time, right? There's a plethora of reasons, but I'm going to see if I can give you a few reasons why. All right? Number one, there wasn't enough time. You see, Hillary Clinton didn't win because Bernie Sanders was there and there was an abandonment there. Number two, Hillary Clinton is a woman. I'll get to the woman part in a minute. And so political parties have primaries. They don't have to, but they do those so that they can see and put a carrot out there to see who's going to bite. That's the purpose of primaries. Kamala Harris ran for the presidency, and it was like, we're not ready for you. We wasn't ready for Hillary. The United States is not ready for a woman yet. We could stomach a black president, but we can't stomach a woman, period, whether you black or white. We can't stomach one, not now. So Hillary just wasn't it, and they didn't like her because of her husband. They didn't like her because of her politics. And they just didn't want her, period. Kamala was brought into this messology through Biden. All right? So let's talk about the problems. The problems was Biden made a promise that he would he would run his party through progression and youth. And so what he should have done was he should have then, during the primary, said, I'm not going to run again. Let's push Kamala. He didn't do it. He smelt that power. he decided I want more power, and he said I decided he was going to run again. When he did that, I said, oh my God, this is not looking good, because he was already showing some type of cognitive decline. All right. And so he decided to stay in there, and then primary, he's the guy. But they chose him reluctantly. As he was declining, as he was spilling and falling even upstairs on the airplane, and as he was stuttering and all these things, um, then he did the debate with Trump, and it was Kamala Harris who defended him as if she was defending her own father. She says he is so innate. He's so on tact. He's so sharp. He's full of vigor. He can speak. But we be in meetings, and he was on top of it. I mean, he was here. He was there. Y'all remember her saying that? Saying that, oh, he. And she and all of his cabinet and many of those people were saying he was the man. All right. This was before he did the thing with Trump. He was the man. He's sharp, blah, 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 blah. And then when he did the debate with Trump, that's when they started saying, oh, we done screwed up. We screwed up. All right. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, I think problem number three is in there. But let me tell you who's going to take one of the biggest blames for Kamala not winning this presidency. And that is, it's a TV show that comes on in the morning with Whoopi Goldberg. It's called The View. The View. The most liberal show on television by all liberal girls. Well, they used to put a Republican girl in there. McCain's daughter was on there, and they tried. Liberal. The very show which tried to push her into the presidency was the one who y'all are going to blame for, and I may agree with you, for getting her to this place here, which is no place, because they asked her a question. Kamala, what would you do different? What would you do different than Biden? And she said, I can't think of one. Bam! That buried her. Buried her. All right, what number we on? I don't know. Okay. She did not enter into a primary. And then when Biden finally jumped out and then they accepted her, there wasn't enough time to put anybody up there to go against her, number one. Number two, she had already inherited millions of dollars. And then y'all got together. The women came on the thingy. Zoom raised her $1 million or $2, and the men came the next day, raised $1 million, $2, and it went on and on. I'm talking about black men, black women. Y'all went ham. All right. Here's the problem. Y'all raised all that money, $100 billion. Number two, she brought in every artist, R&B, pop, rock. I mean, Beyonce. What's her name? The white girl who waited to the last minute to the debate. Then she finally put her thing in there, saying Kamala's the right. What's the cat lady? What they call her? The one who sells trillions of records every month. All these people, all these millionaires and people that y'all almost worship at the altar of recorded music. Taylor Swift, nigga. None of it worked. What number am I on? Number 900. What the Democratic Party got wrong is that you thought that the people were voting on feelings. And a lot of us did. They were not. Because if the people were voting on feelings, then the Hispanics would not have voted for Donald Trump. But the Hispanics voted for Donald Trump. Black men, I know y'all saying black men voted for, listen, in 2016, a whole bunch of black men voted for Donald Trump. Why? For the same reason they didn't vote for Kamala, for two reasons. Black men voted for Trump in 2016 because they were not ready for a woman to be the president. Number one. I told y'all, I don't care. Y'all keep fighting me over this, and I keep telling y'all what I know. I'm a man. Number one, they wasn't ready for a woman. Number two, there's a big array of black conservative men who vote conservative. No matter who's running, they vote like you do. Black people, you vote Democrat. No matter who's running, you voted because you vote your culture. But there's a whole bunch of black men who vote for Trump because they voted for the Democratic Party, period. That was in 2016. Do you understand? So there wasn't not so much a bigger difference. But those black men who voted for Trump, many of them who did jump the fence, I will say there was some who jumped the fence. They jumped the fence because they did not want to vote for Kamala Harris because she was a woman, number one. All right, there's another two reasons why they didn't, and I'm going to tell you why. Donald Trump had his so-called racist event down there in New York at that place. And it doesn't matter what that comedian said about the Puerto Rico. It didn't matter about the garbage. It didn't matter about anybody who was insulting Hispanics. What you don't know about Hispanics is that they are not, like us, a monolith. They are individuals. And the ones who are over here legally could care less what you say about Hispanics. Do you understand the words that's coming out my mouth? Because Donald Trump rolled down that elevator 2014-15, and he said they're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. And some of them might be good people, but they're bringing all this other stuff. And those same people and whom y'all say he was talking to went to the polls and voted for Donald Trump, and he won the presidency 2016. A worse thing seemed like happened this time, and guess what? Y'all was like Pennsylvania Hispanics. They ain't voting for him because that was it. And the Democratic Party brought in what's that Hispanic singer that everybody's talking about? Brought him in. Brought in all these other Hispanic artists, thinking that it was going to change the vote. Please, I'm gonna tell you, y'all need to learn who people are. I know I always sing the song Feelings. Thank you, J-Lo. Nothing more than feelings. I know I always talk about that, and you all who are, and thank you, Elizabeth, and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny and J-Lo didn't work. Them folk listened to Bad Bunny songs. They listened to J-Lo songs. Y'all brought in Beyonce, and she didn't even sing. So they just came to hear Beyonce sing. She just talking. They were like, what the boop? All right. People could care less when it comes to them going down to the polls. It's not about their feelings. It is about results. And when Kamala said, I'm not going to change anything, even though the economy was good today and under the 4 years up under Biden, y'all said the economy is not good because I can't afford this. You are right. The problem is Americans are not as logic as you think they are because feelings is involved, but when they are logic, they're not logical enough. They don't go too far out. They think about their pain. They see that they can't afford bread. Do y'all understand? So because they can see that they can't afford bread, it doesn't matter how well we are off opposed to the other G7 nations. We're better off than all of them, but you can't feel that we're better off. You understand? Our economy was better under Donald Trump, but it didn't matter because what you feel now, the nation is about now, not what happened last 4 years, last 10 years ago. Do y'all understand? So even though the economy was great, and I'm in the stock market, trust me, myself, Uncle Larry from Stock Up, listen, I'm telling you, the stock market is good to us under Biden. But who gives two rats behinds? Because most of you are not in the market, so you can't feel what Wall Street is doing. You only feel what Main Street is doing, and you can't afford bread or eggs, or your rent is up, your mortgage is up, your car note is up, your insurance is up, everything is up. You understand? So this is why the people decided, you know what? I don't care what y'all saying. I got to vote over here because Trump is telling me that life is better in the economically. He's telling me what he's going to do for me economically, and those Hispanics, they are building, they are investing, they're in your neighborhood buying up the lot that you got this left there. All right, and so they could care less. They are looking for what Trump is doing. Y'all better hear me. Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all don't want to hear me. All right. So the Democratic got it wrong. Let me tell you what else the Democrats got wrong. Abortion. Boy, did y'all screw the pooch. Abortion. You got it wrong. You are right that we should talk about it, but you talked so much about it. Can I say something controversial to you? I can almost guarantee you 99% of the people who are watching me right now, and it's about 350 of y'all, 99% of the people who are watching me right now, abortion don't affect you. Abortion don't affect you. Do you understand the words that's coming out of my mouth? But you spent 70%, Kamala, and you Democrats, talking about women's reproductive rights. And that other side was like, listen, y'all spending too much time talking about abortion when I can't afford to eat. And when it came time finally for to talk on economics, then she decided, okay, here's my economic plan. Too late. Too late. It is too late. When it comes to voting, Trump could have called all of you all the N-word. He could have said any type of salacious thing he wanted to say, and he was not going to lose votes. Why? Because it is a circus act with us. We're watching HBO, we're watching BET, we're watching some movie, and ha 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 ha. When you get through with your jokes and what have you, how many of y'all went to a comedy club? How many of y'all watched something on Netflix, a comedy special, and you was like, "Ooh, he said that. Ooh, 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 oh my God, oh my God, oh God!" And when you got through, you went away and said, "You know what? He was pretty funny." And even though he might have been talking about you, said something about you, pretty funny. Dave Chappelle talks about the LGBT community. He talks about transsexuals, and Dave laughing the most. And they still go to his things. They still support this and they still support that. And Donald Trump could say whatever he want to say. As long as you feeding me, you can call me the N-word all day long. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. And they went down into the polls and they voted for him. And y'all thought that's it. When that comedian said that Puerto Rico was a trash or something like that floating, y'all was like, that's it. Them Hispanics are gonna they're gonna turn on them, blah blah blah. And I was like, really? You think they're going to turn? Did y'all hear my show when I was like, please? And they still going to vote. How many heard me say that? They still going to vote. And did they not? He threw toilet paper at them, paper towels. They still going to vote. It's not about your feelings. It's about results. What are the results? And here's the thing about results. Many times, you can't even see the results. It is the illusion effect or illusory effect that you're getting something. And this is how politics is really. Democrats, you raised more money than any politician in history, and you still lost. Not only did you lose, you lost greatly. Chicago is a blue territory, and we vote Democrat. But when you look at the Illinois map, it is red as crimson stain, red. And when you look at the map of America last night, It was a red wave. Why? Because the Democrats was campaigning on feelings and not results. And you didn't study those people. You didn't study the culture of people. You didn't do it. So what happened was results. Now let me tell you who we elected. I'll do that tomorrow. We elected a king. The United States elected a king. We did. And we are Germany, part three. Germany, part three. You see, there's Germany of World War One. Then there's Germany of World War Two. But we are the new Germany. Like how America is the new Roman Empire, we are Germany 3, which is a fascist nation or system. I'll tell y'all tomorrow how I know for a fact that we have turned over to fascism. People who said they was going to vote for Kamala, your mama, daddy, brothers, sisters, and children, went in that booth. And that commercial that Kamala put in was telling the husband, or telling the wife, you don't have to listen to your husband. You can go in the booth by yourself and he'll never know that you voted for Kamala. It backfired. Those wives went in there and voted for Trump. Why? Because they're the ones that go into the store and they can't afford to go to the store. Results. So Trump is the most we've ever seen of a king in our so-called democracy. Now, here's the thing. We were fighting over the Electoral College, but this has almost nothing to do with the Electoral College this time. You see, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but she lost the election. Trump now not only won the Electoral College, he won the popular vote. What does that say about America? When the majority of Americans voted for a man who is a fascist, who is a dictator, who is an authoritarian, that most of America voted for him, would rather have him than have a woman. That says something about America. I don't know what number I'm on, but tomorrow I'll have to break down what the Supreme Court did was set him up to be king, because Trump wasn't running for the president of the United States. Trump was running from the law. Did y'all miss that? Trump was running from the law. He was trying to stay out of jail. And his only way out of prison is to become the president of the United States. It was a brilliant move on his part, even if he knew what he was doing or not. Brilliant. He had opportunity because, again, Dems dropped the ball. He put 3 people on the Supreme Court who then gave him autonomy. He gave him what's the word I'm looking for? Immunity. He is immune through the people he put in there, and they decided to turn, and the Supreme Court justice, their job is to look at the Constitution and uphold it, to interpret it, which upholds it. But the Supreme Court is not looking at it and interpreting it. They are adding to it. They are doing legislative work. That is the Supreme Court, what they've been doing for the past, I think, 20 years now. Okay? And so they said, total immunity. And they was doing that with the hopes that Trump gets back in. It's brilliant. While you all were running after those Beyonces and those all those special acts and going on Zoom and raising all that money on them, them Republican rights was coming together like we had never seen before. They could care less what y'all was doing. They came together like never before. They did it whether secretly, they did it in a unified way. Even though it was might have been evil, they did it. They came together because y'all was fighting over reproductive rights, yet they were saying, here's what I'm going to do for you. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do for you. So the Supreme Court, now when he gets in the office, he has total immunity, and then he gonna say, you're gonna go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go, you're fired, you're going to jail, and I'm going to give myself a presidential pardon. He is the king. The Pope told that king that he couldn't marry that woman. What's her name? What's his name, y'all? Which Pope? Which king was that? King Henry, one of them. And what did he do? He changed the laws. Took that power from the Pope. Donald Trump is about to do the same thing. So tomorrow, let's talk about that. All the things that he getting ready to do that's going to make you feel like you are up under Germany. Absolutely. This is a fascist. It has become. This election was a precursor to a fascist regime. Yes, absolutely. And boy, to me, when I was driving and I heard that the man had won Pennsylvania, I was like, he's in. Here's the thing. This is not a repeat of 2016. No, Trump really didn't know what he was doing. He was shocked that he won. He was surprised he won last night. You know why? Because he had a surprise for y'all. He and Michael Johnson had a secret. And he even said, we have a secret. And basically he was giving a message to his people. He spoke. He should not have spoken. I'm sure Michael Johnson got nervous when he said that. But y'all better hear me. He said, well, I have a secret. You know what his secret was going to be? His secret was going to be, if he had lost, then he was going to and then y'all found out in that last election that your vote don't really matter. It does matter, but yet it don't. You're not voting for the president. You're voting for electors. That's what your vote was the other night. And then the electors come together in December, and then they vote for who you said for them to vote. But those electors can be a faithless elector and decide to vote the other way, whether you like it or not. So they're putting laws in place to penalize these guys, but the penalty is only a couple $1,000, so it doesn't matter. They ain't going to jail. So Trump had in his mind said, here's what we're going to do. If we lose, we got the House. We got the Speaker of the House. We've got power. We can hold things back. We can delay things because of the power of the Speaker of the House. But now because he won not because of the Electoral College per se, he did, but he won the popular vote, which says something more so. You understand? Because now it's about democracy. The United States never had democracy because we've always had, when it got finally put in place in the 1700s, the college, the Electoral College, has never been about democracy. It's about distrust. The Electoral College is because of you Negroes. 3/5 compromise. It was about slavery, and it was about distrust because they did not trust you, American people, with all that power to vote in political heads. So they set up the Electoral College, and so they said, well, you can vote, but you're only voting for an elector, and that elector is the one who understands politics, and we trust him over you. So we've never been a democracy because a democracy is of the people, by the people, for the people, and which means my vote goes directly to the president. or the person that I pick. And the only time democracy works is in local elections. Y'all understand? Oh, I'm reading y'all stuff. Y'all think I'm stupid. You think I don't know politics. Oh, I know more than you think I do. Yeah, I know more than you think I do. Your local election is more in a democracy than anything, because your local election, your vote goes directly. But we are the only nation around the world who's got a system like this, which is not a democracy. So a faithless elector can vote for someone else. And I said, but they have been changed. Did y'all not hear me say that they changed the laws in certain areas and they will penalize them? Did you not hear me say that? But yet you're going to make a comment like that? Now, how dumb are you? See, people come over here thinking that they know more than the speaker. And then when they do type, they say some of the dumbest things, which tells me they ain't listening to me. It's hot in this car. So, America, which y'all lied to me, and you told me that America was a Christian nation, which is a lie. That was the first lie you told me. And in 1492, he sailed the nation, the ocean blue. He came over here and was nice to the Native Americans and gave them corn and gave them this. I mean, so many lies, manifest destiny, and all these lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And here we are today, still listening to the lies of our nation. And that's why y'all keep losing. So President Trump is, in essence, our first king. Our first king. Because the first president of the United States, they wanted him to be a king. And at least George was like, no, we ran from that. But now, Mr. 47 will be America's first king, catered after that of Germany. We will be a fascist nation for the first time in American history. You all get ready for it. But here's the thing, Christians, because this is a Christian show. This is a great time to be alive. I'm excited about this time. Christians, I'm excited. If y'all out there crying, you are a weary soldier. You should be put back into the barracks and just, you know what, no. You need to, what they call that? A discharge. It should be dishonorable discharge. They should kick you out the military. This is the greatest time, because when the enemy is his hardest, he goes after us the hardest. That's when we are empowered to go after him the hardest. All right? That's when we are empowered and we can lean on the Holy Spirit. So who is the enemy? Donald Trump ain't the enemy. Y'all stop blaming Donald Trump for all the stuff that he said and all the stuff he do and what have you. You can't blame Donald Trump. How many millions of people voted for Donald Trump? You pointing out your finger at one guy. No, it ain't him. It is what he is allowed. Y'all did this. Donald Trump is the result of our fears. That's all he is. Donald Trump is the result of America's fears. And millions of people gave in to the fear and the cry. He was a town crier. And you gave in to him, and so you voted for him. And so now he is now the king. And it's good to be the king. But if you all are going to be part of a kingdom, then you must live up to your ambassadorship. You all are ambassadors for Christ. And so you can't just let the king do and say whatever he wants to just because he's the king. No, here is the Christians' opportunity now to be some of the most the strongest horsemen and foot soldiers and airmen. I mean, spiritual warfare, man. Y'all sitting up in these churches and singing and kumbaya to one another and spitting and speaking in tongues and laying hands on each other and blowing on each other, all that stuff. Please, don't waste your time. Now is the time. That old crazy Brian song, Carnality, I put up a post yesterday. I said, where's Prophet Brian Carn? Well, Brian Carn released a prophetic video a few hours ago about how he said that Donald Trump was going to be the president. I saw people from all over the country voting for Donald Trump everywhere, and he put the dates up there: June, July this year, blah blah blah. And I say this every 4 years. I say this every 4 years. I say, you know what? It's amazing how can you be a prophet to the nations, which is what he bragged and all the people brag about him. How can you be a prophet to the nations and the only thing you prophesy about is either what sports team is going to win the Super Bowl or something, or which Hollywood person gonna die, or who gonna win the presidency? And then when you do drop it, you drop it the day after he wins. I don't care how many dates you put on there. If you are going to warn me of something, why wait and drop it the day after? He said, well, I said this to my local people and I want to be silent. Why? How could you be a prophet to the nation and then be like, just shh, this is only for the family. I'll drop this after the fact. You see, it's easy to prophesy who's going to be the president because you got a 50 chance to be right. Listen, miss me, Brian. Brian, I'm sick of you. Where's Damon? What Damon Redding at? Damon, I am a boy. Where you at, man? I need to talk to you. You need to call your friend Brian Carnality because we done. We don't need him no more. He gonna drop this thing the day after the election so that we can praise him. Boy, go miss me. Go sit your behind down. As I close, these are all the mistakes that Kamala made. Mistake after mistake after mistake. And guess what? It's not her. It's not her fault. Biden should have jumped out and not ran again. He did. You all backed him. She had to back him. That's her boss. Even when he was failing, even when he was doing Freudian slips and mishaps and what have you, she had to stay with him because who turns on their boss? And she got pushed in there too late. It didn't matter if they raised $3 trillion. She was going to lose. It wasn't about money or about celebrities. No. It's about results. I can't afford this piece of bread, this loaf. I can't afford it. And I don't care how good you say the economy is right now, because you're comparing it with what's going on outside this nation. I could give two dead flies what's going on outside this nation. What about my house? And they turned to Donald Trump and said, he speaks my language. Now, they're going to bite. They're going to lick his kiss his finger, kiss his ring. They're going to do all kinds of stuff when he gets in there. And let me tell you, what's going to happen? It's what happened in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. No matter what, even if they're feeling the pain, they're still going to say, thank you. Please, sir, may I have another? Mark my words. Meanwhile, if y'all ain't praying and getting out there in the street and having personal responsibilities to invest in yourself and in your family and your posterity, you can cry all night long on your pillow. Donald Trump is the president, will be the president of the United States. We're gonna call him the president-elect of the United States. And I just smiled all through all of that. I was watching Fox News when they announced it, and I was like, Pennsylvania? Oh, he in. And I said, wow. And guess what the stock market did? Right before that, when they saw the numbers was favoring him, Bitcoin went. Corporations was like, yeah, yeah, let's do this. Let me tell you, your mama always told you, when somebody give you lemons, what you make out of it. Oh, I'm going to benefit from this Trump administration? Shoot. I'm going to benefit naturally and spiritually, because now I've got something that to fight. I got something to fight. And it ain't Trump I'm fighting. We're not fighting against flesh and blood, but the fight is against principalities. We don't fight against flesh. No, it's what's inside of a man. This is spiritual warfare, you understand? But how do you wage it? Not by how about that, no, all that fun foreign languages and heavenly things. No. Call somebody. Go out there, do something. Volunteer. Feed the hungry. Go out there and minister to somebody. Just show up. Be ever present in people's life. Adopt children. Send some money to some kid who's in college right now. Do something. That right there, that's kingdom work right there. That's kingdom work. And then you start doing stuff like stop overspending. That's what your problem is. The more you make, the more you spend. Y'all got stuff you don't even need. You should have never bought that. Return it, because it's about to get a little tough for you. Here's the thing. You won't feel it right away. Because you still up under some of the Biden stuff, all right? Even though whether you feel that it's hurting you or it's not hurting you, because everybody ain't hurting. Trust me, everybody ain't hurting. Ain't hurting. If you can spend $600 for a Stevie Wonder concert. I went to Stevie Wonder concert the other day, and there are people who were sitting in the $600 to $1,000 seats. I was in the nosebleed. My ticket was $90. I was in the nosebleed. Oh, I could afford them seats down there, but heck it to the no. I was so high that I saw a bird nesting, and chicks was coming, and the eggs was cracking, and the chicks the bird was feeding the. I'm like, wait a minute, ain't this the United Center? This is the house that Michael Jordan built. Why is there a nest up here? Oh, I'm up here. Then I heard. I mean, what is that? And I looked up and it said Spirit Airlines. I was like, how high am I? Good Lord. And then I got tired. I got so tired at the concert. I yawned, and when I reached back, I said, "What's this in my hand?" It was a star. it was a star. I said, what? How high am I? This is a star. He was like, and the woman sitting next to me, she said, "Yeah, that's the Big Dipper." Big Dipper? How high are we? It was amazing. We was high, man. We was high. And I couldn't breathe. I was like, why my chest hurt? She said, well, the higher you get, the oxygen. And my ears is popping up. Like, what is going on? How are we? Oh, I was up there. I was way up there. I mean, my nose started, my left nose, all this blood was coming down. Blood coming down here. I was like, you know what? But this is the best $90 I had ever, the best $90 I had ever. So, don't you worry about a thing. Congratulations, Donald Trump. I guess you was the best man for the job. I ain't vote for you, but I'm sure glad that, we still alive. Hi, Hitler. I'm gonna do all right. Them 4 years, if he survive, if he make it, if his decline gets worse and worse, J.D. Vance Hey, JD, listen, whatever I said about you, man, I'm sorry. I ain't mean none of it. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? Take care of yourselves, one another. I don't have an outro. I'm just going to hit the off button.